What's up, Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. And I know a lot of you are still figuring it out. Well, this is my new home, my new YouTube channel, so subscribe and hit that bell to get all the good stuff when it drops. All right, let's get to the big news this week. Apple has removed Group FaceTime from iOS 12 and macOS Mojave and says it will launch sometime in the fall later this year. So we have to do this dance again with Apple. And yes, I agree with those of you who say, I'd rather wait for them to get it right. But this is just another delay in a long list that's becoming the norm. Like, I can't do what Apple and their genius people do, but how about announcing new things when they're actually ready within 3 to 6 months? That's not even asking for much. Now, the list of recent significant delays includes the AirPower, HomePod, AirPods, Apple TV with Dolby Vision, and 3 flagship features from iOS 11 like Apple Pay Cash that's still not available in many countries, and then AirPlay 2 and iCloud Messages that came out just the week before the announcement of iOS 12. That's almost 1 year later. And now we're adding Group FaceTime to this list, and you know that's a bad Apple. And remember, iOS 12 was already stripped out of many of its new features this year to focus on performance and stability after the train wreck that was iOS 11. And if you even go to Apple's website, iOS 12 features performance as the #1 improvement, and then right below it, Group FaceTime. So you're telling me Memojis makes it in iOS 12 and Group FaceTime doesn't? That's another bad Apple. It's real disappointing, but like I said, it's becoming the norm and it's not a good look. So fall ends on December 21st this year. But it's not all bad in the iPhone world if you like benchmarks and they mean everything to you, especially when the iPhone X is matched up with the current software on the new Galaxy Note 9. Tom's Guide ran it through the Geekbench for benchmarks, and even with double the RAM and the Snapdragon 845 on the Note 9, it still trailed Apple significantly with a multi-core processor score of 8,876 to the iPhone's 10,357. Now, in the Slingshot Extreme test, the Galaxy Note 9 also trailed the iPhone X in graphics performance, 4,639 to Apple's 4,994. But when it comes to the actual display, DisplayMate rated the Note 9 the best display on a smartphone, setting new display performance records in color accuracy, screen reflectance, high brightness mode, and more, earning it an overall grade of an A+. Hey, Apple 2018 iPhones, you're up next. Now, in the latest iPhone news and rumors, industry analyst TrendForce believes the lower-cost 6.1-inch LCD iPhone may have a starting price of around $699 to $749. We all know about the 3 iPhone models coming, but here's where it gets a little interesting. TrendForce believes Apple could introduce 512 gig storage options for both the 5.8 and 6.5-inch OLED iPhones, and the 2018 iPhones may also include support for the Apple Pencil, which always brings me back to this moment.
We're going to use a stylus. No. No. Who wants a stylus? You have to get them and put them away and you lose them. Yuck. Nobody wants a stylus.
Love that, but times have changed and the Note 9 is proof that it can be done and be done really well. But if Apple's going to be bringing Apple Pencil support, it better be a whole lot smaller than this. Like, do you really want to be going at your screen with this? Like, like, look at this thing. This is ridiculous. The Pencil is bigger than the iPhone. It's bigger in length, but not in girth.
That's what she said.
Now, analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has previously said that Apple Pencil support is a possibility, but doesn't believe it will happen until 2019 at the earliest. All right, a new report says the AirPower wireless charging pad will cost around $149 and it will be compatible with not just the current crops of iPhones, Apple Watch, and next-gen AirPods, but it will also be compatible with the entire crop of 2018 iPhones, which makes sense. Now, Bloomberg reported Apple was targeting it to be ready by the end of September. The new AirPods case with wireless charging that Apple teased last September is also believed to support the Qi wireless charging standard, which means we are expecting it to work with any Qi certified charging mat from companies other than Apple. The Big A's annual September keynote is getting closer, so we'll find out about this pretty soon. In MacBook news, DigiTimes reports Quanta will fulfill orders for the new entry-level laptops expected in the fourth quarter of this year. They believe they're coming in September or October. It's still not clear if it will be a MacBook or a MacBook Air, but reports claim it will have a 13-inch screen with a Retina display and Intel's 8th generation Kaby Lake processors. And we could still see a separate October event with all the products Apple has lined up for this year. I'm pretty much betting on it. But what about future MacBooks? Recently filed Apple patents reveal they've been working to improve the MacBook experience with a fully customizable virtual keyboard of their own, and another concept has touch surfaces along the edges of the keyboard as well. Now, this first patent shows sensors underneath the virtual keyboard, which is a clear glass surface, to detect when it's been tapped, and it also says haptics will be on board to give it tactile feedback. The second one shows a standard keyboard setup on a laptop, but pairs it with touch-sensitive areas all around the sides and the area below the keyboard that could be used for gestures like scrolling. Another concept shows a keyboard accessory that could be placed on top of the flat surface of that virtual keyboard, instead now giving you a physical tactile experience while relying on the technology that detects key presses. Again, this is just a patent filing, so it doesn't mean Apple is doing this, but it shows what they're thinking. But the touch bar, come on! It's still one of the worst and most useless features they've forced down our throats. It's less efficient, and they need to make it even remotely useful before they even try and go full virtual keyboard on us. Trust me, like, it drives me crazy. Okay, we also talked about the new software betas earlier, and I've got to show some love to the Apple TV 4K. The 7th beta has finally included support for Dolby Atmos audio in the settings, and I know there aren't too many people that are even into a full home theater system, but Dolby Atmos, trust me, it's a game changer for your home audio, and this edition makes the Apple TV the only streaming box to include both Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. And you know what? That's a rad Apple. And a new addition to the Apple TV app family, HQ Trivia, the game you used to play like all the time and then stop playing. It's still around, and they have finally brought the game to the Apple TV with a split screen interface. It's a free download, so check it out. I haven't played this game in like a long time, so it's a good reason for me to fire it up and just play it like one more time. All right, in HomePod news, consumer intelligence research partners claim Apple's HomePod now makes up 6% of the smart speaker market. Apple doesn't disclose their own HomePod numbers, so these are based on guesstimates. The HomePod still has a whole lot of ground to make up to even be in the discussion with the big boys. Amazon, they make up 70% of the market share in the US, with Google Home at 24%, and no surprise, the $349 price point is still a big hurdle, just like it was from day one. But help might be on the way. A new patent granted to Apple describes how voice recognition could identify a user by their speech to use a pre-existing user profile, something that already exists on other smart speakers like the Google Home and Amazon Echo. Now, a user can be recognized by biometric information like a voice print, but another method could be from another granted Apple patent called a multimedia computing entertainment system for responding to user presence and activity. Now, this device would create a depth map of the entire room and update it if there were any changes like new furniture or things being moved, but it'd also be so detailed that it could detect movements down to specific sections of the hand, like moving your fingers, as well as the arm and the rest of the user's body. The HomePod already optimizes its sound based on the acoustics of a room, so this would take that even further, but these are two pieces to the puzzle that could help make the HomePod significantly better in future generations, and you know what? They need it. All right, that's it for now. If you want to get that deep dive for Apple, check out my audio podcast, the Apple Bits XL. You can support that and my new journey at patreon.com/Brian Tong, and I am grateful for all of you who are already supporting me right now. Like, it's just crazy to me, so thank you. All right, that's going to do it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time for all the bits and bytes inside the world of Apple. Take care. Be safe. Peace.